Hello and welcome to Graphs Engineering. So in this video we will going to discuss about model and random vibration analysis of girder assembly using ANSYS Workbench. So this is nothing but the continuation of our last video where we discuss about the model analysis of girder assembly. Now in this video we will discuss about how to perform a random vibration analysis for the given power spectral density. So this slide represents the learnings as discussed. Like the first part we already covered in last video. Now in present video we discuss about the random vibration simulation. So there we will see like the loading as well as boundary condition, that is PSD acceleration, and then we will discuss about the result extractions. So this slide is nothing but our problem statement which says that we need to perform random vibration analysis and investigate the vibration characteristics of girder assembly. So in this tutorial we will study displacement and stresses in girder assembly due to acceleration spectrum. The first one here, like we need to assume structural steel, so which is already available in ANSYS library by default. Then we need to perform the model analysis which we already covered in part 1. Now for this respective power spectral density, so here you can see this graph. This graph is nothing but acceleration versus frequency, and here we need to use this PSD to perform random vibration simulation, and it is acting in a longitudinal axis. So now this is what the snapshot of our actual girder assembly. You can find that easily on the internet. So like you will find this is the very complex structure, but we are just considering 1, 2, 3, 4 sections of this complete girder assembly, which is basically subjected to various random vibrations, as well as you will find some seismic loads, even live and wind loads will also come into picture when we talk about girder assembly. Okay, now what we will do now, we will go to our ANSYS and where we will perform this exercise. So before going to the ANSYS, I will just show you, take you to our video. So you just need to check our YouTube channel and there you will find this video on random analysis of centrifugal pump frame. So basically I just wanted to highlight that we already covered the theoretical part, like what is random vibration analysis, what are the examples, and furthermore what is PSD, that is power spectral density. Like you can see here that representation of random excitation is called as a power spectral density. So likewise the definition, purposes, and all the theoretical information you will find that. Also we discuss about how the PSD is developed from the your vibration data. Okay, so just go to this, I will put a link over this, and then you can first cover this theoretical part and then you can cover this random vibration simulation part. Okay, now let's go to our ANSYS window. So here before we already covered the model analysis part. Now in order to perform the random vibration, you just need to drag over here and just connect the solution part with your random vibration simulation part. So when you drag, it will automatically connect. You can see that solution part with this, and this first 3 part representing that you are carrying or you can copying the same engineering data, the same geometry, as well as the same mesh file. Okay, now let's double click over here and let's go inside the mechanical. So when you double click, you will find that the first deck belongs to the model analysis. So here like we consider this geometry, this is the by default material. You can find that structural steel, and for that these are the material properties like isotropic elasticity, density, Poisson's ratio, and shear modulus, bulk modulus. So you will find that in ANSYS library itself. Now the next part is, you can see like the mesh part. We also discuss about the auto contacts in the first part, so don't forget to visit and don't forget to complete that first part, because we discuss here about the auto contacts, what is the representation and what is the significance of auto contacts, how these tolerance values affect your contacts creations. Okay, now this is what the mesh which we use. And then you can see like we applied fixed support. So you can see like we applied fixed support, because from here you will find the vertical pillars will be there, which are going to be welded or bolted over here, and we haven't considered the another part, so that's why we applied the frictionless support. Okay, and like you can see, these are the modal vibrations. So you can see these are the excitations which we observe while perform the due to the modal vibrations. So you can see these are the different mode shapes, and you can see these are the different natural frequency. Okay, like that you can see the first one, the mode is belongs to the another part, and then later on you will find that the bottom assembly. Then if you go further, you will find that this will going to ship the inside stiffeners, or you can say the ribs which are deforming inside and outside. You can see like stiffeners. Okay, now let's go to the our random vibrations. When you click over here, you will find that here the model is came into picture. It represents that we are performing the mode superposition random vibration simulation, and inside the analysis setting, here you need to define the number of modes you need to use. So as we know that our excitations are up to the 60 Hz, so we extracted the 0 to 62, we just put 1 point, just to frequency we increase, and inside this range we obtain this much frequency. You can see over here like up to 61 Hz, and we will going to use that all over here. Neither you can even define the number of modes you need to use for your random vibration simulation. Okay, now the next part is the output control. So here if you want to extract like velocity, if you want to see at the output the accelerations, then you can keep this option yes. If you keep no, then it will only give you stress values, but you will not get the velocity and acceleration at the output. So ultimately it will save your file size, because that will not going to be written on the result file or RST file. Okay, and then the damping controls. If you have dampings, you can define here by putting manual or program. If you have some dampings, you can define. At present by default you will find that 0.002, and if you have any steepness and mass coefficients, you can define that steepness and mass coefficient. Even you can define the damping curve, the damping versus frequency over here. Okay, so I will just keep by default like 0, and the next column belongs to the analysis data. That is not, if you want to save like APDL file, the DV file, you can keep over here. Here you will find the unit system which you need to use for your simulation. Okay, now let's go to the loading conditions. So before moving to loading conditions, right click over here, insert. So here you will find that power spectral density. Either you can apply in the form of acceleration, velocity, or even you can apply G acceleration and displacement. So these are the 4 loadings you can provide inside this random vibration simulation. So let's go to our PPT, and here you will find that, let's right click and edit data. So what I will do, I will simply copy this. So the first one you will find like 100, then you will find similarly 200, then 350, then 200. So similarly you can find over here So either you can put manually or you can just copy this, copy, and let's go to our, and here right click, insert power spectral accelerations. Here just change the unit system because we need to apply in inch per second square per hertz. Okay, now here our longitudinal axis is Z1, so you just define that. Here you need to define the boundary conditions, so like you need to define either on fixed supports, all fixed supports, or all supports. So we will keep that all supports, so it will going to apply on your fixed and frictionless supports. Now let's define, or you can just simply copy, Control V. Okay, so you can see that the same power spectral density in the form of accelerations over here, right? So you can see this graph, the same graph like frequency versus acceleration. So whatever the graph you may have, you just copy over here and check the unit system, check the directions, and then apply your respective loading conditions. So this is all about your loading conditions. Regarding boundary condition, it will carry the same fixed supports and frictionless supports because we are performing mode superposition random vibrations simulation. Okay, once your boundary conditions and loading conditions are defined, just right click over here and solve the simulation. It will take some time to get the results. So if you see here, like unit system mismatch is there. Earlier we saw that in analysis system, like it is metric ton, and because our loads are in the form of US customary, so that's why we change that. But before solving, you just need to check which unit system you use for the model analysis. Okay, so I will clear these results, or you can say delete all, and let's try to solve further. So now it is trying to solve the simulation. So now if you see that our simulation is performed, the green symbol you will find. Now in order to extract the stress, the output, you just right click, insert. You can first see the deformation. Furthermore, if you want to see the directional acceleration, you can find over here. Then strain, then basically the stress which is we wanted to see. Now evaluate the results. Now we can, the first one you can see the directional accelerations. So basically here you can see the axis as we applied the acceleration in z-axis. So let's see, evaluate, because our PSD is in z-axis, so we should get some, okay, it's as minimum as possible, like 0.04. Now let's see the stress value. Okay, the stress is also quite below, so it means that our PSD have no much significance. So here you will find that some more up to 30 megapascal. Now this is the probability of 68.20, so 1 sigma basically. Now if you want to see the stress, let's put over here, and here let's 2 sigma, insert stress, and let's check the 3 sigma probability. Okay, so now 2 sigma, it means like 95, or you can say approximately 96% probability, like you have 60 megapascal. And let's go to result. The maximum you will find somewhere here near the fixed support locations. So similarly stress is also here. Now overall whole assembly having a stress of, like, if I will see somewhere here, for 35-40 in the range of this. And what is 1 sigma, 2 sigma, 3 sigma? Like I already covered that in my as discussed. Just have a look on this video, random vibration analysis of centrifugal pump. Here we covered the theoretical parts also. So you already aware of this 1 sigma, 2 sigma and 3 sigma part. So when we talk about 1 sigma, you can see like This is what the probability curve, and here 34.1, 34.1. So basically for the normal distribution it accounts for the 68.27%. Okay, while 2 sigma you can see from here to here, so this plus this, so totally 95.45%. and when we see the 3 sigma, there you will find that up to this, right? So it's like 99.73%, and there is one more like 4 standard deviations, 99.94. so 1 into root mean square 1 sigma accounts for 68.27% of the total response. So basically you will find when we say 1 sigma, it is nothing but 68.27 total response. When we say 2 sigma, it is 95%, and when we say 3 sigma, like 99.73% of total response. So basically we usually see the 68 we can say the 1 sigma response. Okay, so you just have a look on that video, you will get more idea on the 1 sigma, 2 sigma, 3 sigma. So basically stress, we can say that easily our stresses are well below our yield limit, so the structure is acceptable for the applied loading conditions. Okay, now even this one more point like response PSD. So you can even see that here the response PSD. So basically sometimes we will need response PSD to look for a few points. So I will just want I can see like here on this respective point what is the response PSD. Just apply over here, and here let's see on the j-axis. Instead of velocity, let's see acceleration, and let's check the z-axis, then evaluate all results. Now if you see that you message and graph, on the graph you will find that you found that this is what your response PSD. Let me change the unit system so that it will be, so like the maximum acceleration you will find the PSD meter per second square per Hz. So if you want to see in our each unit system, so it is like maximum you will find up to 39, and somewhere here 1576.7. okay, so likewise most of the analysts also see that what is the response specti at the various points in the structure. Okay, and the deformations is okay, the deformation is as minimum as then stress. And furthermore, like you can even prove what is the force reaction, moment reactions. You can check on the fixed supports what is the force reactions which you will be getting. So like okay, so here as it's fixed one, so even for getting fixed reactions in output controls, you just need to keep results on, then you can see that keep model results. Okay, in model analysis, if you see here model analysis, when you see this nodal forces yes, then you can see that when you keep this yes, then at that time you can see these force reactions also. Okay, so always keep in mind if you are getting this like 0 reactions, then you just need to keep in analysis setting nodal forces option yes, then it will gives you the reactions. Okay, now regarding stress, it is as minimum as, let's change further, like 30 megapascal only the stress value, and response PSD also is the maximum you will find that 1 e raised to 6. Okay, now this is sometimes we even do the fatigue analysis. In that case you need to extract this fatigue like damage, so you can even do use these results random vibration to perform the fatigue simulations. Okay, so we will do a separate video on that, and we will further meet on a new video where I will going to cover furthermore the simulation part. So what we did here, we just performed the very first model analysis, we extracted the frequency, we applied supports, we carry that result on a random vibration, and we saw these analysis setting like what is velocity accelerations at the output. Then we applied our respective power spectral density. So based on your PSD, you will get the your output. So you need to check. Now if you see here, the maximum value like 2.25 e raised to 5, and when we see PSD is like 1.1 e raised to 6. So you can even cross check with your input PSD and response PSD. Okay, and then we extract the stresses as well as deformation. So we found that the stress are well below our yield limit. It means that the structure is acceptable for the applied loading conditions. So that's it guys for the today's video. We'll meet further. Take care. Bye bye. Have a nice day. Please don't forget to subscribe our channel and don't forget to press a like button.